You know that fizzy brown liquid, the one in the red can, the one that's seemingly everywhere, from your local corner store to the farthest reaches of the globe. It's arguably one of the most universally popular products, east to west, north to south. But before it was the king of carbonated refreshment, before it sponsored the Olympics and adorned polar bears, Coca-Cola had a rather different ambition. It wasn't born in a boardroom or a marketing brainstorming session. No, this global behemoth started its life with the humble goal of curing what ails ya. Yes, you heard that right. Forget the sugary sweetness for a moment. Picture, if you will, the late 19th century, a time when medicine was, well, let's just say it was an adventure. Snake oil salesmen were a genuine career path, and the line between legitimate remedy and utter quackery was blurrier than a freshly shaken snow globe. It was in this environment that our story begins, in Atlanta, Georgia, with a pharmacist named John Pemberton. Now, Pemberton wasn't your average soda jerk. He was a Confederate veteran, a man with a certain entrepreneurial spirit, and perhaps a touch of the showman. He'd already dabbled in various concoctions, including something charmingly named Pemberton's French Wine Coca. Sounds sophisticated, doesn't it? Think of it as an early energy drink, combining the then fashionable coca leaves, yes, those coca leaves, with alcohol. It was marketed as a nerve tonic and a cure for all sorts of ailments, which back then was pretty standard practice. If you had a headache, a cough, or just felt a bit blah, a swig of French wine coca might just be the ticket. Or, it might not. Medicine was a gamble. But then came a curveball. Prohibition. Atlanta decided to go dry, which presented a bit of a problem for Pemberton's wine-based elixir. Undeterred, he decided to remove the alcohol and focus on the other key ingredient, the extract of the coca leaf. He tinkered with the recipe, adding other ingredients, including extracts from the cola nut, which contains caffeine. The result? A non-alcoholic version of his popular drink. And in 1886, this new concoction was first served at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta. Now, imagine walking into that pharmacy. You wouldn't find the familiar red and white branding. No giant polar bear posters. Instead, you'd see a simple soda fountain and a pharmacist offering you a new brain tonic and intellectual beverage. That's right. Coca-Cola, in its infancy, was marketed as something to perk you up mentally and physically. Think of it as the original nootropic, though I suspect its effectiveness on the intellectual front was debatable. The name itself came from Pemberton's bookkeeper, Frank Robinson. He suggested Coca-Cola, believing the two C's would look good in advertising. And he was right. He also penned the iconic Spencerian script logo, which to this day remains instantly recognizable. It's a testament to the power of good branding, even when your product started out claiming to cure everything from nervous affections to, well, the list was quite extensive. For the first year, sales were modest. We're talking an average of 9 drinks sold per day. Not exactly setting the world on fire. Pemberton wasn't a marketing genius, and perhaps he was still focused on the medicine aspect. He sold portions of his company to various individuals, and eventually, the entire operation was bought by a businessman named Asa Candler. Now Candler. This is where the story really gets interesting. Candler was a marketing maestro. He saw the potential in this fizzy concoction, not as a medicine, but as a refreshing beverage. He understood that people didn't necessarily want to cure something every time they took a sip. Sometimes they just wanted something tasty and invigorating. Candler unleashed a marketing carnival. He used coupons, free samples, and all sorts of promotional items to get Coca-Cola into the hands of the masses. Suddenly, this former brain tonic was popping up everywhere. Soda fountains became the social hubs of towns, and Coca-Cola was the star of the show. It was no longer just something you took when you felt under the weather. It was a treat, a social lubricant, a symbol of the burgeoning American consumer culture. One particularly clever tactic was the distribution of free Coca-Cola coupons. Imagine getting a ticket for a free, delicious drink just for existing. It was a stroke of genius. People tried it, they liked it, mostly because of the sugar and caffeine, let's be honest, and they kept coming back for more. As Coca-Cola's popularity soared, so did the competition. Imitators sprang up like mushrooms after a rain shower, all trying to cash in on the fizzy brown gold rush. This led to one of the most iconic design decisions in history, the creation of the contour bottle. The story goes that in 1915, Coca-Cola launched a competition for a bottle design that would be so distinctive that even if you felt it in the dark or saw it broken on the ground, you'd know it was Coca-Cola. The winning design, by the Root Glass Company, was inspired, somewhat mistakenly, by the shape of the cocoa bean. The result was that curvaceous, instantly recognizable bottle that has become a design icon in its own right. It was a brilliant move that helped solidify Coca-Cola's brand identity and set it apart from the imitators. From its humble beginnings in an Atlanta pharmacy, Coca-Cola embarked on a journey that would take it to every corner of the globe. It became intertwined with major historical events, from World War II, where it was said to boost morale for American troops, to the rise of globalization. It adapted to changing tastes and cultures, though the core formula remained a closely guarded secret. Speaking of the formula, yes, the legendary secret formula. It's locked away in a vault in Atlanta, supposedly known only to a select few individuals who are forbidden from traveling together. Whether this is genuine security or just brilliant marketing is a question for another time, but the mystique surrounding the formula has undoubtedly added to the Coca-Cola legend. Over the decades, Coca-Cola has faced its fair share of challenges. The rise of health consciousness has led to the introduction of diet versions and other healthier alternatives. Competition from other beverage giants has been fierce. Yet, despite all this, Coca-Cola remains one of the most powerful and recognizable brands on the planet. So, the next time you pop open that red can, take a moment to consider its rather unusual origin story. From a pharmacist's attempt to create a medicinal tonic to a global symbol of refreshment, the journey of Coca-Cola is a testament to the power of innovation, marketing, and perhaps just a little bit of sugary, caffeinated magic. It's a reminder that even the most international things often have the most unexpected beginnings. And who knows? Maybe your next crazy idea, the one that seems a little bit out there, might just be the next global phenomenon. Just don't expect it to start as a cure for what ails ya. Unless, of course, what ails ya is a lack of fizzy brown goodness. In that case, Pemberton might just have been onto something after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I suddenly have a craving for a certain bubbly beverage. Cheers!